And a pleasant good afternoon to you. It's really very, very pleasant as comparison to this morning when it was maybe a little overcast and a little iffy in the weather. But now we have excellent conditions for the second semi-final. St. Lucia Blast 2021, sponsored by Dream 11 as the main sponsor. We've had one result already with the semi-final win going to the Mico Eagles, and semi-final upcoming for a spot in the final. Of course, there'll be a third place playoff, fourth place for the two losers. So Choiseul Claypot, South Castries, I think the toss is about to be decided. Let's join our match referee.
Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to the second match in today, semi-finals day, at the Dream 11 T10 Blast at the Darren Sammy Stadium. Our two captains and two teams, Johnson Charles from South Castries South and Vince Smith from Choiseul. And Johnson as a home team captain. Go ahead, Johnson. It is tails. So Johnson, tails, Johnson as on the toss.
I saw a very big smile, Johnson.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have a bowl first and try to restrict them. Make sure we, do what we want to do, execute our plans, and hopefully get them restricted to a low total and make sure we chase it down.
Any changes to your team today?
We have two changes. Leo is back, Noel Leo is back, and Nixon Edman is back, and we've let go Aaron Joseph and Inglis.
You just saw the last match there. Any tips from that?
Definitely, I've seen a few things. So, I don't want to reveal what I've seen, but I'm definitely looking at what I saw and gonna use it.
Congratulations, all the best.
Thank you.
Vince. All right. So what's your plan now?
Well, it's to get a lot of runs in 10 overs and just go out there and bowl them out.
Obviously, just as Johnson, you saw the last match. You got any tips from the pitch on how to move forward here?
Yeah, the pitch has a lot of runs in it, so you just have to go out there and execute and then just move forward.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
Before we go, any changes to your team?
Not as yet, no. Same team.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
And be ready. He doesn't seem to be ready against Sri Lanka. And he plays that off the back foot. Getting it to third man. So Alexander is in strike as Henry is one. Lefty. Flowing shots. Quiet. This is a vaccination center today, but those who've had their vaccines have probably gone back to work. We had a day where there were some 50 people after being vaccinated, decided that they'll take a seat in the Charles stand. That's outside the leg stump and called wide. So 1 to the total, 2 without loss. But these tend to score quite quickly. Runs on the board is runs on the board, and they will want to do much better than the Monreport Stars because they only got 80 for 5 of 10. Nice steering shot, just back and opening the face. As the strike is rotated once more, goes to 3 without loss. And taking their time, Greg, and having a good sighter.
This is about one of the slowest starts we have seen from them. We have not seen any shot in anger as yet.
Well, I don't speak too much, too fast. That's the first shot in anger. It went very quickly. Just had a high back lift and a nice swing of the bat as it came down and down to the boundary for 4. So we were just saying it was being quiet is unlike them. But Henry is 5, Alexander's 1, 7 without loss. But they probably have a game plan. a very wide first slip. That's down the leg side, and it will be called wide. No pressure there. Giving away easy wide. Shabafti is going back to his mark. He's had a couple of good figures. Picked up a couple of wickets. Mopped his brow. And he races in. And that's Henry gloving it. And Alexander charging down, had to hurry back. Strong looking, muscular delivery by Henry. So the opening sparring, this of course, we're in the first over. We have 4 deliveries. It's 8 without loss. As Henry goes and cracks that away through the covers for 4 beautiful shots. Long on, but it was really a mid-on position the feeder was at, and that was played handsomely off the back foot through the covers. 2 boundaries in this over, Greg. There's 12 without loss, and Henry's 9.
Yes, well executed there by Henry. Chapatis on this occasion just shot outside the off stump, and as you did indicate, Red's a real cracking shot for the covers.
Yes. He waits once more what shot he will play. He plays defensively, well bowled. Just on a good length. No room to play off the back foot or on the front foot. So he finishes well, but he still conceded 12 off the over. The Colpots are 12 without loss. Well, they would have seen what Munropo did not do, and they would probably be saying, look, we've really got to put 100 plus on the board if we want to be competitive.
Yes, good start to the inning by these two. If we were to look at what happened in the first game, Reds, the first 2 overs, that of the Monroe Stars, just 10 came off the over, and the Miko Eagles 8, so they've won 12. They've had a much better start than the 2 previous innings that we saw.
So Gabriel to move in from the far end. He's going to bowl over the wicket to the left-hander Alexander, and he hikes that away. I would think he's probably looking to hit that a lot squarer. The man right back on the rope, and the man at the backward point position. So he picks up the scoring also, moves to 5, his first boundary. Henry has got 2, and a total of 15 without loss. 15 without loss. I suppose before the start of this game, the betting favorites might have been South Castries, but so much depends to me on Johnson Charles.
Yes, a lot will be depending on Johnson Charles batting.
Well, he's the keeper here, lifting delivery turned away, out towards square leg. And they take a very good single. Nice footwork there by Alexander. Rolls on to 6, 9 to Henry. It's not for 17. We are in the second over. Although the English Premier League is over, there's some good matches today. Everton 9, playing Aston Villa 11. And Manchester, who is second, playing Liverpool 6, but we're playing for bragging rights. Liverpool, of course, won last year, but not the same this year. That just pushed the backward point. Very sharp single, but the pickup was not all that good, and they were able to take it. So using singles and not just boundaries. Henry 10. Alexander 6. And we had a situation where Liverpool lost their Dutch defender, who might have an operation, said he will not be playing for Holland in the European Cup because he don't want to damage the rehab period. That's short and pulled away down towards wide mid-on. Nice cracking sound. We didn't get the exactly where he wanted to get it, because if he had an opportunity, it would have been heading out towards the mid-wicket boundary. Alexander 7, Henry 10. 19 without loss, cool conditions. Jean-Baptiste bowls and drop, but it would have been a great catch. Driving effort by the slip, but it does bring 4 more runs. It does take the total to 23. 23 without loss. Henry moves to 14, but living a little dangerously there, Greg.
Yes, the slip fielder Reds are a little slow to react. And this one just going to the right. On this occasion, Abby Gabriel just pitching outside of some sort of back of a length, and this one just move away from Henry. But was stiff in the end.
Gabriel on the leg side, and you can guess. You can guess that a wide is being called. 24 without loss. Good going, good platform. How far they will get, that's the important thing. They really need to get, we feel, in the commentary box, beyond 110 or thereabouts to make it a real competitive game that's nicely picked up on the leg stumping. I did it, didn't hit it all that hard, hitting the face of the bat as Henry moves to 18. Normally, Alexander tends to be outscoring him. But there was a previous match where he had the head start and Alexander got going. They both were level pegging. Well, they are not. Henry's 18 with that boundary, 28 without loss.
It's a combination of a good successful over.
Today, I would like to introduce you to the fixed special deposit. What's so special about this deposit? It is all about you, the customer. The interest rates and maturity periods are negotiable. That's how special this is. The special deposit instrument was designed to meet the needs of those.
12, and this is first delivery outside the off stump. Played out of a square position. So Henry's 18 of 8. Alexander 7 of 4. We have another injury. Someone is saying bring a towel.
It's like Cornelius calendar.
Did the ball jump up and hit him in his face or something? Seemed to be holding his nose. Let's hope it's not a bad cut or anything like that. So the play momentarily held up as Calendar gets a bit of water, maybe just to wash his face and wash away what little blood might have come. He can't fix it up from here, but he's gonna stay in the field where we had a situation where Travis Gifford was hurt and never returned. So he's not going off, Greg.
Yeah, it seems to be a little more serious than we thought, Reds.
Yes, well, there's a medical room, there's a nurse in place, and she will have her nursing bag. So play about to resume with Alexander and 7. We are in the third over, 2.1. Brilliant sunshine. That will bring in Jean-Baptiste. 12 in the first over, and that's a wide in this over. And the total inches up on 29 for 1. If you're a football fan, the European final will be played in Portugal, not in England. They were hoping it would be played at Wembley. Originally for Turkey, but that was changed. Just shuffling behind that and playing a shot, pushing it down towards cover and running with the shot, not admiring it. 8 Alexander. Henry is 18. And there's 30 without loss. 30 without loss. See that the third man for Henry is coming in. And the long one goes out, and catering for the strength of each player, no doubt. 30 without loss. This is over number 3. And Henry looks to hammer it off the back foot. Good carry. Good carry to Johnson Charles. Took it about chin high. Standing there. The shoulders. Johnson Charles has always been nicely muscled person. Was very happy when he won the toss. Immediately he says, "We will bowl." He's standing back. And that goes right through him. He was so late on the shot. Pitched up the perfect kind of delivery. And by the time he came down on it, Henry bowled for 18. And it's 30 for 1. Well bowled indeed.
Yes, good execution of the Yorker there by Jean-Baptiste. Henry coming down lit on this one, and the off stump was struck red. So good bowling indeed there by Jean-Baptiste.
Yep, it really almost surprised him because he was very late, and the bat was in a kind of an angle. It wasn't a man with the bat facing the bowler, so he was not in a position even to get a bit of the bat onto it that might have just helped him. So good wicket there by Jean-Baptiste. They needed it. 30 for 1. Just needs to build a little bit of pressure. There's always a pressure on the new batsman coming in. And Alexander chatting with his new partner. He's been quite quiet, Alexander. He's only 8. And Roland Cox tells me that Alexander has had 8 from some 6 balls. So, to be not getting the strike, Simon comes to partner Alexander. Simon, a right-hander, with a solitary slip, wide for a slip. Jean-Baptiste not happy with his approach, goes back to his mark. He's happy, I'm sure, that he's taken the scalp of Henry. He's looking to do further damage as he comes off a very quick run. And that's a nice looking shot. Really jumping across and playing with that shot. Mainly off the right leg, but gets it straight to cover. So it's a dot ball. Still 1 for 30. Simon not. And Jean-Baptiste is on his way. And that's helped down towards the long leg area, short. And looking to hit it more square. It rushed onto him, took the face of the bat to the top. So he's off the mark at 4. It's 34 for 1, 34 for 1, and we've had 3 overs completed.
Yes, Jean-Baptiste just unable to close the over reds, just straight down the leg side, and Simon really getting a free hit, so to speak. Didn't get the sort of contact that he would have wanted, but enough to evade the short fine leg fielder and down to the boundary for 4 valuable runs.
So Simon and Alexander, trying to really put a score in the board. Simon, little innings of 18. He promised quite a lot. He looked in good shape. He was getting a fair amount of the bowling too. And he was playing shots and looking to turn the strike over. So it's going to be Simmons to bowl to Alexander. Will Alexander now take up the mantle as the more attacking partner? Now that Simon is coming to join him, but who knows what Simon's approach will be. That's hiked away and well over the rope. In fact, it hits the jump of Charles Stan, and that's short. And already he's done exactly that. He's pushed on to 14. That was really a wayward delivery, nicely put away, Greg.
Yes, no piece at all there. Just dropping this one short, and Audie Alexander getting into position very quickly, right? 212-6 struck in the tournament so far.
Left arm, good delivery. Choked him a bit. He was thinking of trying to draw away. It's a good comeback. Alexander's 14. And Baptiste, two of us, 1 for 18. One is in his second over. In contrast, he's conceded over 6 as he moves into Alexander. Alexander slaps, well, certainly he was looking to slap that away, but seemed to take the inner parts of the bat and went back towards the bowler. Left arm over. Here's Simmons on a track which is full of runs, but it does give a little bit of assistance to the bowler. Has some bounce, good carry to the keeper. It's very lively. Isn't a flat track. And for the stroke players, the ball will come onto the bat as he hits that over the head of the bowler. Will he bisect? No, he will not. And the deep enough running back picks it up. So one, when initially we thought it might have just gone through the two men closing in, had to settle for 1. He's 15. I don't settle for 1, he is 15. And we're in the 4th over. Got these 2 of us, 1 for 18. Simon's 4 of us, none for 7. He'll be happy of the 2. And it's going to be Simon, who is 4. He's just come in. Square leg is now coming into a forward square leg position. And you've got a long on out. Steered away. Single is not there, going straight to cover. And a dot ball. So it's back to his mark. He's about to end over number 4. So after 4 overs, they're striking around the 10 mark, which is good. 10.70 to be correct. That's short and oh, beautiful shot. Nicely timed, laying onto the right leg. So he's joined the party. He moves to 8. Alexander is 15. And that shot earned an applaud from you, Greg.
Yes, Reds, it was delightfully played there by Jason Simmons on this.
Kadebodye. My grandmother once told me, as long as I could see those pitons, say thank you, God. But at first I thought it was silly. But when I missed home while studying, I used to look at those pitons and say, Kadebodye, look at God. And I would feel alright. This is my home. That's my suffering.
Ins, too many dot balls. People hitting across the line, pulling across the line and not making any contact. So Leo was off for a game or 2, now coming into the attack. And that's down the left side. I think Leo was hurt or just, as you know, Greg, left out.
They practiced a bit of rotation with the players.
Yeah. Giving everybody a game. Well, that tends to keep people very happy. Leo Alexander, again, quick delivery. And umpire judged that was maybe over the line of the leg stump. Very quick delivery. Leo back to his mark. He's not bowling off a very long run as he turns and comes into Alexander, who's 15. Alexander again trying to get it down to fine leg, but it's just too wide outside the leg stop. Widest signal, 1 for 47. Alexander 15, Simon is 8. With Henry gone for 18, bowled by Jean-Baptiste. Simmons moving in. He stopped to advance a bit as the field is changing over. For Alexander, there is a very straight mid-wicket. There is a forward square leg back on the boundary. Long off. And he hits that powerfully down to the man we just called. And easily taking a single, but really hitting the ball very confidently. You can see that he's really timing the ball well for that single.
Yes, good flow of the bat there by Audie Alexander. And ball comes from the middle of the bat. Nice sweet sound.
So we've had 4.2 overs. They're scoring at over 11. So managing their scoring well. Wickets in hand. How far will they get? It's Simon waiting for Leo to start to move in. He's almost there as he bowls to Leo. Leo hitting hard down the ground over the head. It wouldn't go into the boundary. Two men, two fieldsmen, one at the long on position coming across as mid-off is running back, but they're back for the second run. 10 Simon, Alexander 16, and they've got 50 on the board with 9 wickets intact. Simon 11 hits that harder. That will in fact not be stopped by anyone. In the area of the V. And on that occasion, he got a delivery pitched up and hit it very hard with strong right hand. He moves to 14. He's closing on Alexander, who's 16. And already, Greg, they've put up 24 on the board as partnership. It's 54 for 1.
Yes, good batting by these two.
That's short and no signal of a wide. Going over the shoulder. Went for the hook shot. Simon. Choiseul seemed to have a nice little batting lineup with a right and left-hander combination now, adding 24. And that's flicked away and will only be 1 as it's stopped by the fieldsman, who is still sitting down from the stop, but here's hoping he's not hurt. We've had 1 already hurt. So 55 for 1. 5 overs being completed, 15 and 16 respectively to Simon and Alexander. We'll have a change of commentator after the field changing very slowly over. They seem to be not in a hurry. Maybe someone is also going off. Greg, you can call it. Then it'll be Cliver's Jules.
Yes, it appears that Leo looks like he's going off the field. But the Choiseul Clay Pots will be very happy with the position at the halfway stage. Some 55 for 1 with a rate of 11. They could continue at that rate and more. So with wickets in hand, they should be able to up the strike rate. They should get close to 120 Clivers.
A good position to be in for the Clay Pots as we see a change. Skipper Johnson Charles has given up the glove and to Noel Leo. Noel Leo is a wicketkeeper as well. And he's taken up the ball from the players' pavilion end. It's Johnson Charles, right arm over the wicket to Simon, and this one is heading out towards the leg side. Simon comes off the pads out towards Jabatis at short fine leg, and they come through for one leg by Johnson Charles. Surprised at him bowling in this one, Greg?
Well, a bit surprised, but he seemed to be emulating Captain Darren Sammy. Captain Sammy bowled for the first time in the tournament, and he made an observation out of a few things that he's going to emulate, and it looked like this is one of those that he has emulated.
Let us hope he doesn't emulate Darren Sammy going for 17, and it would do well for the Clipboards if he could emulate that sort of figure from Darren Sammy. But he started well, a leg by coming off his first delivery, a delivery that was pitched up, heading out towards leg stump, and just coming off the pads, and a leg by taken. Charles is making some changes to his field, the mid-wicket. Comes in, he has a square leg on the boundary as well. Third man into the circle. Johnson Charles over the wicket to the left-handed Audie Alexander, and Audie Alexander gives him the charge, and not timing it, and just plays this one back to the bowler along the ground. As Charles walks back to his mark, 56. The current run rate is 10.50, 56 for 1. The Clipboards. Alexander on strike on 16, and this one is shot out towards his deep square leg, and the fielder comes around to his right. The return is not on target, but they only come through a 4-1. Alexander into position quickly and pulling this one out towards the deep mid-wicket area, and getting one from it.
Yes, good work done there by Nixon Edmund on the mid-wicket boundary, coming across very quickly and rifling this one back to the keeper. Was not on target, but with his effort, he was able to restrict them to just one run.
He was quick in getting to the ball on this occasion, and Charles into Simon. Simon is playing this one out towards a short fine leg and just on the bounce. Maybe if Jean-Baptiste had dived forward, he could have gotten this one in. But on the bounce to Jean-Baptiste, a short fine leg, and they take a single. The score moves on to 58.
Yes, good rotation of the strike there by these two. Unable to get the boundaries, but they are not soaking up too many dot balls.
Certainly as Charles over the wicket again into Alexander. This one delivery is down the leg side, signal wide by the umpire, and rightfully so. Johnson Charles, maybe the right hand left hand combination is putting a bit of strain on his skill set as a bowler.
Yes, normally does to the best of bowlers.
Charles again comes around into left-handed Alexander, and this time he gets some baton to it and beats a fine leg inside the circle out towards the boundary. 4 more to the Choiseul Clipboards. They continue to match along at a very healthy scoring rate.
Yes, poor delivery there by Johnson Charles. This one just fired down the leg side, and Audie Alexander had all the time in the world to really free his arms and got some back to it and got it to the left of Kimrol Charles at short fine leg, and there was always going to be 4.
Charles to bowl what should be his last delivery of the over into Alexander. This one is pitched up. Alexander pushes out towards the cover region and comes through for a quick single. The score moves on by 1, 64 for 1.
Get more with our Massey card. One card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massey stores and Massey card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massey stores or www.masseycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massey card can bring.
Legal deliveries remaining, and just the loss of 1 wicket, they could afford to start putting their foot on the accelerator.
And Jason Simon will be looking to do just that as Romario Simmons. He changes ends, and this time he's moving in from the commentary box end and he will be bowling to Alexander. Alexander will really be looking to press on the gas now. He's on a 22. Left arm over the wicket to Alexander into the wind and beating the man on the square leg boundary for 6.
Getting into position very quickly. Simon shot on this occasion and good pull shot through the mid-wicket area. This one actually struck the wall and came back into the field. So you could see the sort of power that was generated by by Alexander.
Simmons left arm over the wicket again into Alexander, and this one looks even bigger. Alexander, and it's dancing. Oh, the field on the boundary makes a meal. There was elevation and into the wind. The wind. Substitute fielder makes a complete mess of it, and Alexander gets 4 more. The score moves on to 74 for 1.
Yes, Alexander this occasion looking to go to the wide mid-wicket.
And it's Simmons this occasion just trying to stay away from the act of Odi Alexander. He's been hit for 2 boundaries. He's staying away from the act of Odi Alexander. And of course, we're hearing that Johnson Charles was retained by the Barbados Pride for the CPL 2021 as Simmons bowls to Alexander outside off on a valiant effort from the fielder in the covers. Clovis in the covers, half stop there, and Cameron Charles brushing up, but not before Odi Alexander completing 2 runs. He moves to some 34. The score 77 for 1. A good shot there from Odi Alexander.
Yes, Odi Alexander certainly has changed gears, but great valiant effort there by with Clovis to have saved 2 runs.
And this one is a little bit too wide again from Romario Simmons. He's getting beaten all over. He puts it, if it's straight, it goes over the onside. If it's a little whiff on it, it goes through the offside. This time it's a little bit too wide. And a wide signal there. The score moves on by 1 to 78 as Simmons round the wicket to Alexander into the pads, and Alexander he's in this one towards a deep backward square. He comes for 1, and that's all. There will be a single to Alexander. He moves on by 1. The score moves on by 1, but Alexander is really putting pressure on Romario Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons is really feeling the pressure. Cannot bowl a consistent line and length. Certainly is under the caution, just what the doctor ordered, that they press the accelerator, not they are doing in the 7th over.
Certainly doing so, and Simmons comes around the wicket to Simon. This time Simon picks him up out towards mid-wicket, and it's dropped right on the mid-wicket boundary. What a disaster for the South Castries Lions. Jason Simon given a life right into the field there, and he puts it down. It looks like it's Wendell Inglis.
Yeah,
substitute Wendell Inglis putting down Jason Simon. The score moves on to 81. Simon is on 18.
Yes, this one traveled very quickly, but Inglis did not have to move that much straight in and straight out.
Simmons, it looks like
Inglis has done some damage.
Has done some damage to himself, and the South Castries players are really under pressure today, injury plagued, and it's almost as if every time somebody touches the ball, there's an injury for the South Castries Lions. We've seen Calendar go out. Now Inglis is going out, and pressure for the South Castries Lions this afternoon.
Yes, it looked like they are really buckling on the pressure, literally.
And Wendell Inglis, the substitute, he's going out with some issues. Romario Simmons, he's bowled 1.5, none for 28. He still has 1 delivery to go, and they really been put under pressure in this final over by the partnership of Alexander and Simmons. 51-run partnership between the two. And Alexander is on 35 from 20. He's hit 3 4s and 2 6s. Jason Simon is on 18 from 11. He's hit 3 4s. So a good little partnership from the two, as Simon is this time he gets the middle, he gets the elevation. Finish off. He's a quarter, 2 overs, none for 34 for Romario Simmons.
Yes, Romario Simmons really came in for a bit of pounding there. Jason Simon choosing the same direction, but this time had the height, had the distance, and just this one just still over the head of Captain Johnson Charles into the boundary for 6. So certainly he came in for a bit of pounding. 34 of his 2 overs, and the Choiseul Clipboards have gone to 87. So they are getting closer to the 110, 120 mark that we suggest they may need.
And a good partnership from Simon and Alexander. Johnson Charles will continue from the Players Pavilion end, and he's bowling to left-handed Alexander. Alexander looking for that big heave over the offside, and missing it goes through to Leo. And the score remains unchanged on 87 for 1. Alexander has now faced 21 balls. He's on 35. Charles moves in to Alexander. And Alexander is clearing his front leg and hitting out towards long on, not getting the timing right, and come through for the second run. Good bit of running there from the Choiseul Clipboards.
Yeah, good aggressive running, but poor bit of feeling there from the fielder on the long on boundary, and Captain Johnson Charles is showing his disgust clearly with this sort of effort.
A partnership of 59 from 28 balls. Charles into Alexander, who's on 37, and this time a short finding the top edge. Leo settles under it and takes the catch. Alexander departs, but not before. Great contribution of 37. Valiant effort there from Alexander to push the score up towards the 100 mark.
Yes, he certainly has played a useful hand, some 37 of 22, and he was certainly getting a move on. Certainly a good wicket for the South Castries Lions, because he was really starting to change gears.
Very timely wicket for the South Castries Lions, and hoping to peg back the scoring rate of the Choiseul Clipboards. But it might be a case of from the frying pan into the fire, as Vince Smith, we know, has the ability, comes in. Captain Vince Smith comes in to replace Audie Alexander, and it's just 1 point. It's really 2.3 overs to go. Is it 1.3 overs to go, and really they will look to put pressure?
Yes, certainly the Clipboards, there's no shortage of fire, one could say, in the pot. So certainly they are going to come hard in the remaining overs.
Simon, who's on strike, the batsman crossed while the ball was in the air. Simon on strike to Charles, and this one is a wide outside off, and Simon is playing it back down the ground, not in the direction he intended though, and the bowler feels that one. Smith had backed up a little too far, and he was in trouble, but Johnson Charles opted not to throw the ball on that occasion. Charles turns into Jason Simon, and slower delivery outside off stump. The good change up from Johnson Charles.
Yes, he has been using the change up deliveries to good effect. The previous delivery was also a change up delivery.
And Johnson Charles he's bowled a very good spell in the context of the match. He's bowled 1.5, 1 for 10. Let's see if he can finish well. Moves into Jason Simon. Another change up delivery, finds the edge high up in the air. 2 fielders. It's Calendar who spills it. Oh my goodness, it's an easy chance, and Colina's Calendar just spills this one. Johnson Charles is very disappointed in this effort.
Very disappointed indeed, but poor technique really. He opted for the reverse cup, and the ball went away from him. So towards the end, he having to stretch his arms and really made
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line, no more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Organizing themselves nicely in the distance. We're hoping that we can complete the second semi-finals without any rain interference today. as the Colports, they've moved to some 90 for 2. Jason Simon, he's on 25 from 15. He's hit some 3 4s and 1 6. Vince Smith yet to face a ball in this encounter, and Calendar, he will take up the attack from the media center end. He will be bowling to the right-handed Jason Simon. It's a Calendar left arm over the wicket to Simon. Wide, and Simon is picking this one from outside off stump out towards long on. Cameron Charles just takes 2 steps to his right, and he's in the way. A good bit of fielding back into the bowler. 1 run to the total. Simon moves to 26 regulars.
Yes, good knock there by Jason Simon. Some 26, as you said, from 16. But this last 2 overs, they would need somewhere close to 40 runs to get a really competitive score.
It's a Calendar into Simon, into Smith, and edge found, top edge found, and this time Calendar is successful. Top edge found, well taken there by Leo, and this one was a lifting delivery, and Smith could not handle the bounce, and top edge found.
Yes, Calendar in this delivery in particular really put his shoulders into this one and just flew past the head of Vince Smith, really looking for the pull shot, but was never in control. Got a top edge, but smartly taken by the wicket keeper. Well-timed jump.
Well-timed jump by young Noel Leo, and Valange Saint-Ange will replace his captain. Valange Saint-Ange, he's not gotten a lot of strike in this tournament. The top order for Choiseul, they batted really well. So the middle order getting an opportunity to make a difference today.
Yes, the top order have batted well. The likes of Jason Simon, Junior Henry, and Audie Alexander. They've really done the bulk of the batting. But in this game, the middle order has to play a part.
And Saint-Ange is in and just dabbing this one out towards a short backward point and coming through for a single, doing the right thing, giving the strike to Jason Simon. The score is 92 for 3. Valange Saint-Ange, he's on 1, and Jason Simon, he's on 26 from 16. He will be facing up to Calendar, Collinus Calendar, who's bowled some 3 balls, 1 wicket for 2 runs. And his current rate is 10.82. Calendar into Simon's shot, and he hits him about the head. Jason Simon was late into the pull shot, and Calendar again putting his shoulder into it and getting some bounce, steep bounce from Calendar.
Yes, Calendar can be very deceptive. He has a very slow run-up, and this might really fool the batsman, but he certainly puts his shoulder at the point of delivery.
Calendar again into Simon over the wicket. Simon shot again. This time Simon middles it out towards the mid-wicket boundary into the Johnson Charles stand. 6 runs. Simon waited for it and picked him up very, very early.
Yes, the short delivery, but was not the sort of effort ball that we saw in the previous delivery, and Jason Simon was more than happy to put back to ball, and this one just sailed into the Johnson Charles stand.
He's moved to 32. The Claypots has moved to 98 for 3. And the scoring rate has gotten an injection with that boundary. Calendar continues to Simon. 215 sixes so far in the tournament. And Simon again. This time he finds the fielder, but he's only able to parry it over the boundary for another 6. 6 from Simon.
Yes, bit of poor catching out there on the mid-wicket square leg boundary. Ball going straight through the hands of the fielder. Really did not have to move. And the poor catching, the poor out cricket by the South Castries Lions continue. They really have gifted the Claypots 6 runs, and in the process Simon have gotten a life. So he had a chance to perhaps inflict some more damage in the last over, which would really get them to a competitive score with 104 on the board. Another 16 runs from this over that can well get them to 120, which would really make it a good competitive score for them.
Certainly so. A good finish from Xavier Gabriel is needed, and his record shows that he's bowled a very economical final over, and he bowls to Setange, and Setange is missing this ball. It goes through to Noel Leo, but Jason Simon, very alert, and he comes through. Oh, a bye signal there from the umpire.
If not, he would have been out.
He would have been out caught. A bye signal there by the umpire. Very belatedly, but bye nonetheless. 105 for free. Xavier Gabriel, he's bowled really throughout the matches that they've played the last over, and he's been very economical. He's hoping that he can be economical on this occasion. 105 on the board already with some 5 balls to go. And Jason Simon, he's at full speed now. He's in high gear and waiting for Xavier Gabriel. Johnson Charles making some adjustments to the field as Xavier Gabriel is asking a fine leg to come back into the circle. He's ready now. Jason Simon is ready. 5 balls to go. Gabriel into Simon. A slower delivery. Simon picks him up out towards square leg. 1-2 bounces and beats the fielder into the boundary. Romario Simmons to 42. He's into the 40s. 109 for free for the Choiseul Claypots. They're matching on now, Greg.
Yes, attempted slower delivery there by Xavier Gabriel, but only serving Jason Simon a low full toss on the pad, which he gleefully put away for 4.
Gabriel into Simon, and Simon is just pushing this one out towards a short fine leg. Jabatis comes around to his left, and not before he comes through for that single. 1 more to the total. 110 is up for the Choiseul Claypots, and it's game on really from here on in. With 3 balls to go, they will look to see if they can get to 120, put some pressure on the South Castries Lions.
Yes, anything now would be serious bonus runs they are looking at.
It's Gabriel into Setange. Setange give him the charge, pulling out towards a wider long on, and he comes around and they come through for 2 more. So good aggressive running there from Jason Simon. You would think he didn't even go down there and come back. He did so quickly.
Yes, sign of a fit man. Yes, good aggressive run in there. Every run is needed. Every run could count at the end.
112 for 3. Setange is on 3. He's a 3 from 3. Gabriel into Setange. 1.4, none for 23. Short pitch delivery. Setange picks him up out towards mid wicket and not timing it very well. And again, Simon has finished a run and 2 runs, and Setange is still. It's almost as if both batsmen heading in the same direction. Simon is really lightning between the wickets.
Very quick indeed. By the time he comes to his second run, Stenga is about 3/4 way coming down for his second. So good run in between these two.
Gabriel into Setange, last ball of the inning, shot and right through to the wicketkeeper. The umpire thinks it's a legal delivery, and the innings come to a close. 114 for 3. Jason Simon finishes on 43 not out. Balange Setange, he finishes on 5 from 5, and 114 for 3. Extras 11. Game on from here on in from the perspective of the Choiseul Claypots.
Yes, good batting effort there by the Choiseul Claypots. They were very consistent in the scoring, and to end up with 114 with a rate of 11.4, they could very much be satisfied with this sort of effort. But notwithstanding the Johnson Charles, who will really be the X factor for the South Castries Lions.
And we can take a quick look at how the Choiseul Claypots got to that 114. Junior Henry and Audie Alexander, a very good opening partnership from them. Again, this opening pair, arguably one can say they've been the best in the tournament so far. But you have the likes of Mervyn Wilson and Shelvin Charles also doing very well with the bat for their team. But Henry and Alexander, Henry 18 from just 10 balls. He was the aggressor. Alexander was playing a supporting role until Henry departed. Alexander, once Henry departed, he took charge at 37 from 23. But Jason Simon, he batted really well coming in.
Yes, but he was sort of lucky to have given 2 chances. But fortune favors the brave, and I guess today was his day, and he made it count.
He did make it count. 43 from 21. The captain Vince Smith was unable to do any damage today. He got a good ball from Calendar. Calendar bowled a deceptive length as well, and got a good ball from Calendar through to the wicketkeeper Leo for no score. A balanced setters came in. He really did not hit those long boundaries that we expected, but he turned over the strike, and Jason Simon really pushed Vala's setters for him to get this 5. Let's look at the bowling figures for the Lions. Daniel Jean-Baptiste, 6 dot balls from his 2 overs, 1 wicket for 18. A very good yorker to dismiss Junior Henry, Daniel Jean-Baptiste. So he did his job. Xavier Gabriel in the last over really went for some 10 runs. He finished on 2 overs for 25. One could say that's his most expensive spell in the tournament, you know. He bowled only 2 dot balls. So really the Claypots had a plan for him, it seems. Romario Simmons, he took a beating today. Romario Simmons, 3 dot balls from his 2 overs, but he went for 34. Romario Simmons. Leo, he went out with an injury after his 1 over. He went for 10. And Johnson Charles, he, for me, was the pick of the bowlers for the South Castries Lions. He bowled 2 overs, 1 for 11, and Calendar 2 overs, 1 over, 1 for 14. So that's the bowling for the South Castries Lions.
I'm Tedison John of the Tedison John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
Johnson Charles, who's already left the gloves. Maybe we can just repeat what he's done with the ball after this delivery. St. Rose rushes into Charles. Charles gets the ball down the leg side. He came in and bowled some medium pace and picked up what?
1 for 12.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a bad effort.
Yeah, but there was quite a bit of variation. He really took off the pace of the ball. So perhaps the Claypots should take a page from his book and perhaps take the pace off for him as well.
Yes. So, keeper standing back, no slip for Charles. With this delivery, is turning it neatly away, almost bisecting the fine leg and the square leg, but had to settle for a single. So not off the mark with a possible boundary. Most batsmen like Charge in a shorter format would like to start with a glorious boundary. But he is key, but he's not the only batsman. Other people have been picked to bat and they must bat. But we had a nice collection of contribution from the Claypots. St. Rose, small, lively, and that taken very low, looking to square drive that. Looking to square drive, call this. Could not believe that was moving to his left, the catcher. And they're celebrating the departure of Colvis, who was gone with only 2 runs on the board. So St. Rose will be pretty happy with that, but I think he's really got to buy the catcher a drink.
Yes, Clovis can consider himself Reds a bit unlucky. That one really came up the middle of the bat and flew to Captain Smith at short the point region there. And on the second attempt, he was able to hold on to it. So good start to the innings there for the Choiseul Colports in the dismissal of Wayne Clovis.
So, 2 for 1. Just what the Colport boys would have required. They would have preferred to see the back of Charles other than Clovis, but take what you get. No slip being brought in. There's a mid-wicket way out, mid-on. Mid-wicket in the circle, fine leg, mid-off, mid-on, extra cover, backward point, lifting delivery, legal delivery. Lively bit of effort here by St. Rose.
Yes, small one in stature, Reds, but he's able to get the ball past the chest of Cornelius Calendar, who's perhaps about, I would say, 6'2", 6'3" thereabouts.
Rose back to his mark. 1 for 2 off 3. You'll be happy with that. As he goes once more outside the off stump. Calendar lets it go. So another dot ball recorded by Roland Cox. So we can look forward to the South African tour of St. Lucia. 2 test matches starting on the 10th of June. The West Indies squad to be announced and to come and have a camp here. St. Rose Bowls, as he covers up and gets a single. A bit of a misfield, but he was playing the shot and virtually running. So once his partner had responded, as he stared that down to a white third man. And the third run is appearing on the board. So Charles is 1, Calendar is 1. And St. Rose, short, about 5'4" or thereabouts. But really running in and bowling with good pace. And that's nicely cut away, nicely played away. Using his hands very nicely. Not a lot of power. Is 5, Calendar is 1, and the over is completed. And after 1 over, 7 for 1, and Rose has picked up 1 for 7.
Yes, it was all hand-eye coordination, not so much foot movement. Very little foot movement, but St. Rose on this occasion just slightly outside the off stump, and Johnson Charles just striking it, just bisecting the fielders into the vacant cover boundary for 4.
Charles will be a non-striker. His Calendar is keeping the strike. He is 1. St. George is going to come into the attack from the far end. Keeper standing up, so you know what he's going to bowl. He's going to bowl spin. Going to get some bunks. How much turn, I do not know. Long on, right back, mid-wicket right back, left arm spin, and almost hit the 8th in the off stump. While looking to play back to left armer who bowls a lot of arm balls. They got a single dangerous shot, 8 for 1. And Greggy needs to rethink if he is going to play that again.
Yes, really living dangerously. Fortunate enough that did not clip the off stump.
What will be approach of Charles? St. George goes in, he turns it away easily, quietly. A single. They'll be happy to give Charles singles so he loses the strike. They want to keep him away from the strike as often as possible. It's Calendar in strike, and the big appeal for the leg before. Worth a shout, no doubt, by the bowler. But he's had a couple of good matches. Dodge.
Yes, he has bowled well throughout the tournament.
He bowls his delivery again. Coming into the batsman, he was able to pull to beat the mid-wicket. I don't know if the mid-wicket, no, was too far away. I thought that he just might have not picked it up early. So important runs there. Calendar, who moves to 5. The dodge ball once more, and again choked up by a delivery that followed him. And he had to play back and out in the offside. Johnson Charles 6. His partner Calendar is on 5. It's 13 for 1. So dodge is in, and this delivery goes down the track and bowl him. Well, stump, I think, will be the official record in Roland Koch's scorebook. But didn't seem to be all that happy, although he did get a boundary. He was looking to play against the ball coming in, and that.
Have you ever wondered how money can work for you? At Fix, we offer several investment options that can do just that. One option is the fixed deposit, which is a short-term investment where funds are deposited for a minimum of 1 year at an attractive rate, better than anywhere else. The fixed deposit is unique and tailored for both individuals and institutional investors, and gives you the option to reinvest for another period after maturity. For more information, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740, or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
And good start by the Colbert boys, picked up 2. Charles needs to play that kind of hand where he can turn things around. A bit of pressure on the South Castries batsmen. As the 2 Charles are wrong. Johnson Charles in strike. And it's going to be Simon. And Simon is short and pulled high into the Johnson Charles stand. Foot, get the forearm going. That clears the boundary by a mile. And it's 19 for 2 Charles. Maybe indicating from now on what will be the attack.
Yes, Simon on this occasion, Red, the ball was slow through the air and short at the same time, so it gave Johnson Charles enough time to pick.
Comes in once more. Charles is back. And, well, they're celebrating. Caught off Simon. And a major blow here. Major blow. This could be a match-winning innings picked up by Simon. It was again short, and I wasn't too sure what shot he was really looking for, as he goes for 12. And South Castries Lions, the favourites, I suppose, when they came into the semi-finals, have slipped to 19 for 3. We've had 2.2 overs bowled.
Yes, a really big blow there struck by Simon there. Johnson Charles getting one shot, but this time, Red, it was fine. It was a quicker delivery, but was on the short side. And
remember me? Still standing, I see. It took me 8 minutes to get to you from New Village. 5 minutes if I ran. You told me I could become somebody. Anybody if I put my mind to it. I saw the world through your eyes and it was mine to conquer. That's my Castries.
Post getting deep into the middle order now as Gabriel comes to join Charles, and doing better maybe than they expected, or doing as good as they planned. You can have it each way. Is faster delivery. Certainly pushing it through. A chance for run out is gone. Down for run out. Well, what a situation there. Didn't get a chance to even face. So Charles going. So both of the Charles going. Run out. And it would have been a fairly sharp single. It was a good throw. It was a direct throw almost.
Yes, direct hit. Perhaps 8 out of 10 Reds sometimes result in a dismissal in a run out. And Cameron Charles on this occasion slow to react, one would say, as the non-striker, and a direct hit resulting in his dismissal. So the Colports certainly are turning on the hit there. 2 from 2 they have gotten in this over.
Yes, and there would be, almost surprised that they have got the mighty South Castries at 19 for 4. Can they come back? Can they come back and get up to 115? I would think the dream, the impossible dream. Who is going to come and put their hands up? And because they are, in fact, scoring only at 7.60, and the rate is now getting up to 13. They have to really go hard. They really have to attack.
Well, 2 batters at the crease, Reds, they're both capable of playing attacking shots.
Study off stump. And Bale's taken off. Gabriel just prodding forward. Well, no doubt. Yeah. Got shots they can play, but they're under pressure. Might be a little reluctant. That's cut away, but straight towards cover. Dot ball, no run. Things are going well for the Colports, who probably wasn't expected to get into the final, but they're not there yet. Where there's life, there's hope. That's outside the off stump, looking to steer it. So not a dot ball, good over. And he's picked up 1 for 6. 1 for 6. Taj has got 1 for 5. The figures are excellent, and it reflects what has happened to South Castries. They are 19 for 4 of 3 overs.
Yes, the Colports certainly Reds, they have caged the South Castries Lions. They aren't going anywhere. The asking rate continues to climb, getting closer to 14, and a lot would be required of Xavier Gabriel and Avelina's calendar, who has a reputation. Reds, he could hit the ball just as his older brother, but a lot would be required of him. We have not seen him in this tournament at all.
Well, this is going to be a test, because Alexander, whose confidence is very high, it's been high throughout. He's done well with the bat already today, and he's going to bowl the back of the hand edition. That's one that spins right through. Is he going to try and read? Is he going to try and get to the pitch? Alexander, who's quite quick, so it doesn't give the batsman a great deal of time. Gabriel is hitting that nicely into the Mong area. So short. The South Castries enclosure, 25 for 4, and Gabriel is off the mark with a good confidence 6.
Yes, Red, good lusty blow that's struck by Xavier Gabriel. If they are to get anywhere close to the score, I think this is the partnership that really have to build them out of jail this time around.
So Tara Gabriel goes to 6. It's getting cool. We've lost the sun. Alexander bowls to Gabriel. Gabriel swings at that, gets a single down to backward square, not timing it at all. And he'll be coming into the right-hander. Moves to 7. It only goes to 26 to 4. If they're going to take attacking chances. They're going to give their bowlers a little bit of a chance too. Alexander goes to this one. He's well forward, and certainly I don't believe there he read the spin too well. Calendar. It remains at 26-4 with that dot ball.
Yes, read some 89 required of 48 deliveries. So it's a big ask.
The equation not in favor of the batting side. Beaten outside the off stump, and doesn't look at all happy. Calendar against the wiles of Alexander, who walks confidently back. So I think they could even consider a slip with Alexander bowling. Alexander in, Calendar hitting that high towards square leg. It's going to drop and stop. They come back for the second. It had a boundary written all over it, but it didn't kick on. It seemed to just drop and stop, and they were able to pick it.
Find everything you need today?
Yes, indeed. I don't see the higher purchase price on this.
That's because the higher purchase price is calculated off the cash price you see there. Based on the length of time up to 36 months, I could calculate the final price for you. What's more, we do free delivery to any location, island-wide, plus free installation.
Wow!
You earn points on your Massy card with every purchase, including your higher purchase payment.
Massy Stores Home. Let's go home.
Wickets. But Xavi Gabriel, we saw in one of the previous matches, he did show us that he's capable of hitting a long ball. And young Calendar, I've seen him play, and he too is capable of hitting, not in the sort of class of his older brother, but he can pack a serious punch.
What do you think of the weather? Seems to be getting a little gloomy.
Yeah, a little overcast, but I don't think we're going to be getting any rain.
And I hope you called it right. Good work by a cameraman. Clouds are getting high, but they're quite white. There's darkness at the bottom. I'm not a weather forecaster. Gabriel 7. Calendar 2, 28 for 4. We've had 4 overs. But there's some forecasters all over the world will give you a general thing, and they will say, 50% chance of sun and 50% chance of rain. Well, here's hoping there'll be none. We have St. Rose moving in. He's at 1 for 7 as he bowls to Calendar. Gabriel correction. Drives the delivery, makes no contact. Sails into the hand of the keeper. Life is Jules, preparing for the drama that may or may not occur. It could be a nail-biting finish, who knows? It could be a walk in the park for the Cole Pot boys. St. Rose, that's overtossed, but not a boundary that we're looking for. It was hit on the full toss, but straight past the bowler and down towards long on. So 29 for 4, 4.2 overs. The rate required is 15.18. That is getting out of hand. You really need a couple of big overs to pull that back, at least one. One in the vicinity of over 15, 16, 18. Come off 1 over. St. Rose, 1 for 6 of 1.2. As he soldiers in once more, short delivery, top edge, and Lady Luck running the way of Calendar is a terrible delivery. Well, then peel off the top edge, but runs in the runs. And so Castries will take anything now as he goes up to 8. And the total is 35 for 4. St. Rose all of a sudden bowling so well, keeping the ball up outside the off stump, and then dug it short. It's right up bowler. back leg before is the judgment, but good change up. I mean, he bowled a very wayward delivery that went for 4 off the top edge, and he ran in thinking of the Yorker. Again, surprising the batsman, and they celebrating to a man. They must feel now we are home and dry at 35 for 5 with Calendar leg before us, then Rose for 8. He has now picked up 2 for 14 of 1.3.
Good bowling there by St. Rose Reds. Really good change-up delivery, good slow ball. Avelina's Calendar was more or less planted on the back foot, looking for perhaps another short pitch delivery, and he really was hustling into a shot and never made contact with the ball. And late in coming down on this one, and he was struck right in front of the middle stump. Certainly he was a judge LBW, so good blow struck there by the Cole Ports, continuing to make further inroads into the South Castries Lion batting.
Well, I'm sure the Darren Sammy group hasn't left. They could have gone to watch it on Calabash, but they're seeing a fairly good all-round competitive performance by the Cole Ports.
Yes, they are very clinical, good display with bat and ball.
St. Rose the ball to Leo. Leo drive with some style out towards cover. So he's off the mark to a slow delivery, pitched up. So Leo's earned his earnings today. 2 for 15 off 1.5. One delivery left, legal to complete 5 overs so far. And they really, at this point, should be in somewhere 50 plus, 60. Delivery outside the off stump. And good thinking, good control, bowled within the required area. Gets a dot ball. 5 overs have gone. And after 5 overs, they are way, way behind the requisite scoring. The rate is now 15.80. With that position, I think it will be Clive Julius to either tell us about a simple, easy finish or a dramatic end.
Yes, at the halfway stage, the Choiseul Cole Ports certainly, as we would say, large and in charge. 36 for 5. At the same stage, when they were batting, they were 55 for 1. So the Lions, they are really caged and they aren't going anywhere, Clive Jules.
The Lions have been caged and tamed as well. So you could have a wild lion in a cage and he's still acting up, but the Lions have been tamed and caged as Valange, Saint-Ange moves in to continue to put the screws on, and Xavier Gabriel hitting this one out towards the boundary at deep backward square, and it will win the race. The ball wins the race as Laffey Saint-Ange to Leo, Siobhan Leo really got this. Siobhan Leo hitting this one. The score moves on to 40, and the South Castries Lions really under pressure. They have been pegged back significantly. Saint-Ange 1.1 overs, 1 for 9 balls to Leo again. These deliveries on the line of middle stump, and Leo is off the back foot, forcing it into the offside out towards the cover, and it comes through for 1, but 1 singles really not enough for the Lions, as Saint-Ange is back to his mark very quickly. This time he bowls to Gabriel, and Gabriel is hitting it back past the ball. Wow, run to it and balance Saint-Ange, and Siobhan Leo had that hit the stump, would have been short of his ground. He was backing up a touch too far and certainly would have been out, but fortune favors the brave, as they say, as Saint-Ange bowls to Gabriel, and Gabriel is hitting this one out towards square leg. It's a no ball called by the umpire, and Saint-Ange, the slow bowler, committing the cardinal offense of transgressing that line.
Yes, guilty on this occasion and really gifting the South Castries Lion a free hit. Certainly they would need to make good use of this one, perhaps look for a maximum to bolster their scoring.
They needed quite a few from here on in, and Leo cannot make any contact with the free hit. The ball comes off the pad into the offside. Jason Simon comes around and field, not a single resulting. The score remains on 43 for 5.4 overs. South Castries Lions under some serious pressure here. Set into Leo. This one is out towards mid-on, and he settles on it right on the boundary. Takes the catch. Vince Smith, very comfortable. Another nail in the coffin of the Lions.
Yes, the Lions continue to struggle. Really cannot roar at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. The coal pots, they are all over there. Certainly taking charge. Some really good bowling by Balance St. Ange, just tossing this one there, and Leo really looking for the elevation. Got the elevation, but not the distance on this occasion, and got this.
My father was a fisherman. He taught me to catch fish. The pie cocoa is the secret to catching the fish. It works every time. We eat fish, we sell fish, we share fish with our neighbors. That's my ancillary.
Never tested in the previous matches, and certainly they have been tested today, and they are under severe pressure.
And it will take a real miracle to get the Lions out of that den. Having been tamed and caged, the Coalports have placed a ring of fire around them, and they would really need a major miracle, and the best man to do the job for them would be Gabriel at this time. But Saint-Ange has other ideas, and Gabriel is looking for the big drive. This one not making real contact. It comes through down to short fine leg, a bye signal, so no contact made. Valanche Saint-Ange, he's completed an excellent spell. 2 overs, 2 for 12. Pressure on the South Castries Lions. They really would need to turn up the heat here if they are to get anywhere close to this 115. But as it stands, the clay pots, they really have a hand on that semi-finals, that finals already.
Yes, certainly, with some 4 overs remaining, the clay pots certainly have caged the Lions, as we've said, and they really can't go anywhere. A lot would be dependent on Xavier Gabriel, and he would need somebody at the other end who can strike the ball equally as well, and that is not the case with the batter Edmund out in the middle. So it's just a bit too much for just one man to do.
71 from 24. The asking rate is 17.75. He needs a 20-run over now, and he's looking for it. This one is wide and will be signaled wide by the umpire. That will help his cause. He needs 70 from 24. The present rate is 7.50. The asking rate is 17.50. Alvina Simon into Xavier Gabriel. Xavier Gabriel looking for the big heave again, missing this one outside of stump, and in a flash, Jason Simon has the Bills whipped off, but Gabriel is in his ground, well in, and Simon shot. This time Gabriel picks it up, and it will go well over the head of the fielder, wide long off, and
Simon on this occasion just a bit short and wide, giving Xavier the room to really free his arms and struck this one beautifully over the long off fielder for 6.
Xavier Gabriel's moved to 15. Simon is into Gabriel. Gabriel picked this one up. This one, he finds the middle. It's launched into orbit. Launching this one into orbit. Xavier Gabriel. He's compensating for the short one before.
Yes, the previous delivery was short, and this one over pitch right in the arc, and Xavier Gabriel really swung this one high, long into the Johnson Charles stand. So 2 in this over. He certainly would be needing to hit about 3 in every over if they are to get to the winning total.
He really needs to get maybe 4 or 5 in this over to take a bit of pressure on them going from here on in. Alvina Simon into Gabriel, and he's back past the ball out towards the boundary, and the long off comes in. Xavier Gabriel losing his footing and only succeeding in getting 1 on this occasion. A good bit of fielding on the boundary there, and the score moves on by 1 to 58. Gabriel is on 22. Edmond is on strike for the first time in this tournament. He's about to face his very first delivery in a pressure situation. 58 for 6, 6.4 overs. Simon will bowl to Edmond, and Edmond is looking for the cut shot outside of stump through to Jason Simon, and no run scored. The score remains on 58 for 6. Edmond is still on naught from 1 delivery. That's all. And Simon again into Edmond, and Edmond is playing this one out towards the point and come through for the second run out. Chance was there, but the throw was a touch too high for Jason Simon, and allowing Nixon Edmond to come through for the second run.
Yes, better throw right along the stump certainly could have resulted in Edmond dismissal, but some 55 runs needed off 14 deliveries. Of 18 deliveries, Xavier Gabriel really would have to get a few big overs if they are to get anywhere close. Not that it is impossible, but a lot is been asked of Xavier Gabriel in such a pressure situation.
Certainly, it's a big ask for Xavier Gabriel. He'd need to go at over 18 and over, and Vince Smith is coming in. Captain Vince Smith giving him a chance to do so. Let's see if Xavier Gabriel can capitalize. It's Vince Smith who will take up the attack from the players' pavilion end to bowl to Xavier Gabriel. He's on 22 from 17. Smith into Gabriel, and this one is on a left kind of shot, and Gabriel is trying to play this one into the onside, not making proper contacts. The bowler fields, no run resulting, and Gabriel, he's on 15. On 22 from 15. This time this one peels up the inside edge out towards short fine leg, and he comes through for a single. 54 from 16. Much more pressure with every dot delivery or single. The asking rate continues to climb here, Greg Wilson.
Yes, Vince Smith certainly doing a good job with the ball so far for the team.
Smith into Edmond. This one is down the leg side and in a flash. Jason Simon. Great take, great glove work from the keeper there.
Yeah, good bit of glove work down the leg side there by Jason Simon. He's really on top of his game today.
62 for 6 with that wide. Smith into Simon. This one is in the air, and Valence Setange, he's diving to his left. Not holding on to it, giving Edmond a life on this occasion. It was a difficult chance. He moved to his left and took the dive and was able to get a hand to it, but not able to hold on.
Despite the fact it was on his strong arm.
And 2 more to the total, 64 for 6. Smith into Edmond. This one is on the pads, and Edmond is working this one away out towards the backward square. He comes through for 1. The second run is on, easy second run, and Lafay does the fielding, and the ball is returned to the keeper. Nixon Edmond moves on to 6. The score is 66 for 6, and we're into the 8th over. Smith to Edmond, and Edmond is driving past the bowler, and it's heading towards the boundary in a flash. Good shot from Nixon Edmond.
Yes, good shot indeed. Powerfully struck back at the bowler Vince Smith over pitching this one. I think he got a hand to it, but it was so firmly struck that he really could not hold on to it. So they need a few boundaries, they need a few maximums if they are to get anywhere close to that total.
They need a 6 at least from this one, and he's driving straight to the bowler, and it's a dot ball. The asking rate continues to climb. 70 for 6 after 8 overs, 12 balls to go.
Get more with our Massey card. One card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massey stores and Massey card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massey stores or www.masseycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massey card can bring.
Gabriel.
Xavier Gabriel, he's on strike now. He's on 23 from 19. He's hit 3 sixes. He hasn't hit a 4 as yet. 3 sixes. 26 from 19. Audie Alexander, who's bowled 1 over for 9. He will take up the attack from the commentary box end. Alexander left arm Chinaman into Gabriel, and Gabriel is looking for a big drive, missing it completely. The ball goes between the batsman and the stump, and through to wicketkeeper Simon, who had the bails off again in a flash.
Yes, good piece of wicket-keeping there by Jason Simon, but good bowling by Audie. Bowling between bat and pad there to Xavier Gabriel.
Not giving Xavier any room to free his hand, and this time is again Xavier Gabriel looking for the big heave. Audie is really landing them nicely today. Very nice bowling from Alexander, keeping Gabriel very quiet. 45 runs from 10 balls, asking rate now 27. It's really an high improbability now, and this one is coming off the pads and onto the stumps, and Xavier Gabriel is bowled. Audie Alexander was all over him in this over.
Yes, good bowling there by Audie again. This one just firing it into the pads, and this one coming off the pads and then ricocheting onto the stump. So he has been really changing his delivery. We saw the first one being fired, the second one is really slowed it up a bit, and the third one again fired into the pads, not giving him the room to really free his arms. And with the dismissal of Xavier Gabriel, as much as it was already, the writing was on the wall, for sure, it's all over.
The last hopes of South Castries would really be leaving the field with Xavier Gabriel. He tried, he got 23 from 18, 23 from 18 balls, and really one could say it's all over by the shouting, Greg, as Xavier Gabriel departs and brings Noel Leo, the young man Noel Leo, on strike on to the wicket, and he will be on strike. But it's really asking for too much from Leo to try to get 30 runs. 45 from the last.
Yeah, 45 from 9 deliveries.
9 deliveries.
So it's almost, you'll say, mission impossible at this point. So definitely tomorrow we're going to have a new champion. The defending champion is going out today.
They're well on their way out, defending champion South Castries Lions, and the Choiseul Claypots. They have staked their claim. They've played well throughout the competition. They've batted well, and they've bowled well in this game all over the South Castries Lions. 45 runs needed in 9 balls, and that miracle that I speak of, if there's a one time that South Castries needed that miracle, it'd be now. Leo on strike, the left-handed Leo. He faces up to left-hand bowler Audie Alexander, and into Leo. Leo is playing this one into the offside, into the cover region, and comes through for 1. And 1 will not help their cause. 71 for 7. Noah Leo is on 1. Nixon Edmund is on 10. 10 from 6 balls. He's hit 1-4. And the singles, not even the fours at this stage, will do it for the South Castries Lions.
Yes, it's, like I said, it's pretty much over by the shouting. But, good all-round performance there by the Claypots.
Audie Alexander continue into Nixon Edmund. Nixon Edmund pushes this one out towards the deep mid-wicket. Mid-wicket has to come from the boundary, and they come through for 2 runs. They're taking pace off that one. A good shot into the offside, but it's not onside, not enough from Edmund or the South Castries Lions, and it's a 73 for 7. Edmund moves to 12 from 7 deliveries. Leo is on 1. Alexander to continue the final delivery of his over into Edmund. Edmund pushes this one out towards the point, and they ask for the run out. The umpire is not interested. Noel Leo is home. 1 more to the total. 74 for 7, 6 balls, 41 runs. It's as good as over for the Lions. We will have 2 new finalists tomorrow, Miku Eagles, and it looks like at this point, but you know, there have been miracles, Greg, and it might take one.
Therefore, you would need a lot of indisciplined bowling if the South Castries Lions are to pull off victory. But one must say good bowling effort there by Audie Alexander. These 2 overs, he picked up the wicket and only conceding 13 runs. Certainly, the slower bowlers really put on the chokehold on the South Castries Lions. The Lions really couldn't roar against the spinners today.
The ring of fire was set by the Colports around the Lions, and Vince Smith will bowl the last. He fires this one into the pads of Edmonds. Dot delivery, 41 required from 5 balls. One would think it would have been, had it been a closer game, it would have been a little bit more exciting. And this time, Vince Smith, he just pegged back the stump, middle stump of Nixon Edmond, and just adding more insult to injury for the South Castries Lions.
Yes, Nixon on this occasion just backing away towards the leg side, looking for an inside-out shot and completely missing this one. And Vince really had this one lined up. It was a question of you miss, I hit. The middle stump being rocked back. So the South Castries Lions certainly are heading for defeat. They're going to be playing for 3rd place tomorrow, and the Colport they certainly could start their planning for the finals tomorrow against the Eagles.
Last year's finals will be our 3rd place match tomorrow, it looks like, from here on in. And it's Jabatis to come in with South Castries Lions 74 for 8, 41 required, in with some 4 balls to go from 41 from 4. Daniel Jabatis, the big fast bowler, has been called upon now. For the first time in this competition, we're seeing the middle order, lower middle order, and now the tail of South Castries don't think that they can wag in this one. Jabatis comes in, he takes guard, and he will be facing up to Smith, Vince Smith. 41 required from 4. Smith into Jabatis, into the path of Jabatis, and he's stumped Jason Simon in a flash. And we spoke of his speed, his glove work is excellent there. And Jason Simon, Jabatis just be overbalancing, and Jason Simon had the build off in a flash.
Yes, this one fire. It was actually between the legs of Daniel Jabatis. The ball went through, and Jason Simon had the presence of mind to just whip off the build in a flash. So good take. And they continue to slide even further, and Vince Smith is on a hat-trick. This is about the 4th bowler that has been on a hat-trick in this tournament. But let's see who can pull off the first hat-trick, if it's possible, today by Captain Vince Smith.
It's Romario Simmons. He's the last batsman in for the South Castries Lions. Have we had a team being bowled out?
No.
We haven't had it in this competition.
9 wickets at most.
We've had 9 wickets.
I think Viewfort
North
in the last game.
6 for 9, yeah.
In the last game.
But we've not had a team being bowled out. So we might see the first team being bowled out in 10 overs.
And the first hat-trick.
And the first hat-trick as well. 74 for 9. Leo is on 1. Simmons, who is going to be on strike, left-handed Simmons, he is going to be on strike, and some 41 still needed for victory. This is not going to be possible at this time. 3 balls, 41 to get, unless Vince Smith really gets everything totally wrong. Romario Simmons, he's on strike. Hat-trick ball for Vince Smith into Romario Simmons, and this one peels off the edge out towards the square leg. And Vince Smith, the hat-trick is averted.
Yeah, I really thought Clive must have been with that 40 needed of free. Vince Smith should have just looked to buy a wicket, just
like the ball. He really needed to float the one into Romario
and hope he missed time.
Or even come down the track and miss it altogether.
Because 6 really would not have hurt his cause.
Pushing this ball through, you want a hat-trick. Vince Smith through and round to Leo is missing this one. The keeper is missing it out towards the boundary. They come through for two. Two buys. Leo did not get anything on that one. Went through for 2 by 75 for 9. 2 balls to go in the 1 ball to go, 1 delivery left. 9.5, just the last legal delivery of the match, and a convincing victory it will be for the Coalports as Smith comes through to Leo. This one is up in the air, and the fielder really made no effort there to give Vince Smith his third wicket, and it's all over. It's over, done and dusted. We will have 2 new finalists, and we will have new champions this year, Greg.
Yes, a convincing victory, winning by some 8 runs. Certainly a comprehensive victory there by the Coalports. So one would say that the 2 semi-finals, Clivers, really did not live up to the sort of build-up, the sort of expectation that we were hoping for. The first one we saw Monrepo getting a meager 80, and this time around the South Castries Lions got 78. So it was even a more dismal batting performance. But today is done and dusted. A comprehensive win for the Choiseul Coalports. Can't take nothing away from them. They batted well, posted a very competitive score, 114, and they were very clinical, I thought, with their bowling and fielding.
And they've changed the omen with teams batting first, being able to defend. We have not seen many teams defend here, so it speaks well to the performance of the Coalports, setting a good total and coming out and defending it here. We've seen towards the ending of the tournament, the teams really chasing, being able to overhaul the target set for them. But today, the clinical execution of the bowlers from the Coalports, they were able to restrict South Castries to what arguably is the lowest score in the competition.
Yes, and we also spoke of the Johnson Charles factor. Once Johnson Charles do not come off, the South Castries Lions tend to struggle with their batting.
And we'll go on field to our crew on field to hear from the 2 captains.
Jono, this didn't work out the way you're planning it?
Definitely not.
What happened, Randall? Go. Jono, this didn't work out the way you're planning it?
No, it didn't. The same thing I was talking about the first match. The catching plagued us again, and it really, put a dent in our plans today. They say the catches win matches, and we really weren't there. Our heads weren't there today.
I suppose the total as well. What did you think of that?
The guys got too many runs because we allowed them to get too many runs. I still felt it was a chaseable total. However, not every day is sunshine, so got ahead of us and we couldn't get there.
And somehow your batting didn't click at all today?
No, I don't expect it to click every day, but I was really looking forward to get that total. But sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
All right, all the best, John.
Thank you.
So Vince is joining us. Vince, it's been a good run for you as standing captain.
Yeah, pretty good one though. You're having 3 victories in 3 games there.
And you took advantage of all those drop catches earlier on.
Yeah. When you drop a catch, that means you had to pay for it, and then our guys go in there and just did what they had to do, and then at the end of the day, being successful.
And I guess you use this spin as well to as much as possible to choke the opposition.
Yeah. Watching the pitch is pretty slow, so that means the slower you bowl on it, is more effective it will be. So that's why we use our spinners very well.
So now you get ready for the big moment, the moment that you've been waiting for tomorrow. Talk to us about the approach for tomorrow.
Well, as I said, cricket is played on a day is just making plans. Yes, you set goals, but making plans doesn't mean anything. You just come on a day and just perform and be successful at the end of the day.
What will be your word or your advice to your team as they come out tomorrow?
Well, just keep the calm and just play well. Anytime you play good cricket, you'll be successful at the end.
Congratulations, all the best.
Thank you very much, sir.
Again, Greg, we heard from the 2 captains, a very disappointing Johnson Charles. He and the South Castries Lions will not be in the finals. But it's not all lost for them. They will be in the third place playoffs against the Monrepo Stars, and that's a repeat of last year's finals, South Castries Lions and Monrepo Stars. But a good victory for Choiseul Claypots. Congratulations to them. They're in the finals with the Miku Eagles. South Castries just really didn't bring the goods to the Greg Wilson.
Not at all. They were very poor in the field. Drop a number of catches, which result in the batters. Simon in particular, Jason Simon, really capitalizing on the chances that he was given. Jason Simon was given 2 lives really out there, and he did capitalize on it. So they have themselves to blame with the sort of out cricket they played, and in the batting they really had no answers to the bowling.
Certainly so. And Greg Wilson, we'll talk a little bit about the cricket, but we want to invite Reg Pereira. He has a little bit of a sad news here. We'll invite him to the mic.
Yes, well, the coverage is going on Sportsmax that someone just sent a message to say that the former Trinidad batsman Leo John, who played in the heyday of the Shell Shield and played with an outstanding Trinidad side, he has passed away. So on behalf of all of us, to the Trinidad and Tobago community, to his family, to his club, to the Trinidad board, we said we're very sorry, and I'm sure that we will hear a fitting goodbye being planned for Leo John.
Thank you, Rez, for that, and condolences to the family of Leo John out in Trinidad. Our prayers will be with them as they mourn the passing of Leo John. And the 2 semi-final games that did not live up to expectations here at the Boseju Darren Sammy Cricket Ground here at Boseju. But the final set, third place set, tomorrow we have the new kids on the block, the Miku Eagles. They will be taking on the Choiseul Claypots. Greg Wilson, your favorite for this one?
I would give the Choiseul Claypots. No, the Choiseul Claypots. If I had to bet a dime Reds like you, I would bet on the Choiseul Claypots. I'm just looking at the cricket. They seem to have the better all-round team. The slow bowling department, there are quite a few effective bowlers. Clem St. Rose with the new ball, he has bowled admirably. And the batting, especially the top order, the top 3, looked very solid.
And there's some depth in their batting as well. So all-round team, yes, but a lot will be counting. I'm relying on the opening stance of the Eagles. Shelvin Charles, Mervyn Wells, and the Merlin Sammy factor. They've batted well in this tournament as well.
Yes, for sure. Charles and Wells in particular. If you look at the 2 teams, these are the 2 best openers that we have, opening pairs that we have on show. They both set up openers have done well for the teams, really laid this sort of platform for good competitive total. And in the middle order for the Eagles, Merlin Sammy has really been very effective.
So we're set up for a very exciting culmination here at Darren Sammy tomorrow. Reg Pereira would like to share the mic as well.
No, for sad news, we are told that the Cricket Association did apply to the authorities to have at least 100 people attend, so we may have that permission given. I would prefer to maybe see that everyone who has had 2 jabs, 2 injections regarding COVID, be able to come and show their document and be able to come in. But that was just a suggestion. What the cricket board is arranging, we'll do fine, but it will be a nice incentive if people with 2 jobs can also come in.
It certainly would be nice to have a crowd, even at 500 or so here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow. So we hope that the Cricket Association did get the permission to get some spectators in. But of course, we will say thank you to our sponsors. Our title sponsor, Dream 11, Calabash TV and Albies Media, Flow, Made in Paradise, Scott Sports and Awards, The Trophy Center, Blue Waters, Full 100, First National Bank, Kendall M. Gill Chambers for their contribution towards this edition of the Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast. So this is Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. The finals all set for tomorrow. The ground staff doing their bit, and we have Miku Eagles to take on the Choiseul Claypots, and in the third place playoff we have South Castries Lions to take on the Monrepo Stars. So from our producers here, Calabash TV, we in fact invite you to take in the replay this evening at 8:30 on Calabash TV for our local viewers. From our producers here, our commentary team, Greg Wilson, Reds Pereira, and myself, Clivers Jules, and our statistician and scorer, Roland Cox. I'd like to say thank you for being with us today, and we invite you to join us tomorrow here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds for the finals and third place playoff of the 2021 Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast. So thank you, and as Greg would say, hasta la vista.